I know that we're all going to make a deal on health care. That's such an easy one. So I have no doubt that that's going to happen very quickly. I think it will, actually. I think it's going to happen.
All right, that was President Trump telling a bipartisan group of senators that the battle over health care is not over, despite saying that it was last week. So when will we see another attempt to repeal and replace Obamacare? Let's discuss this and more with Republican Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio. He's the chairman emeritus and a founding member of the House Freedom Caucus. Good morning, Congressman.
Morning. Hi. Good to be with you.
Great to have you. So is there a new deal for health care?
Well, that's what we're working on. We want to put together a plan that actually repeals Obamacare, that actually lowers premiums, and frankly one that hopefully more than 17% of the country approves of. So we're working hard at that. We've never stopped working at achieving that goal because that's what the American people sent us here to do.
And are you working with the president on this?
We had a number of meetings with the White House last week and the weeks leading up to last week.
Right, but I mean since it failed. I mean since it failed, are you back at the drawing board with the president?
We're back at the drawing board with every member of Congress, every Republican, and I haven't personally talked with the White House this week, but we're working with everyone we can to get accomplished what the American people sent us here to accomplish.
And how's that going to work, Congressman? Because look, you in the Freedom Caucus are the ones who are basically getting the blame for it falling apart last time. So what's the new deal going to look like that makes everybody happy?
We've always been focused on those regulations which are driving up the cost of premiums. I've said all along, even CBO said premiums are going to increase over the next 3 years under the current under the plan, under the proposal brought last week. So let's get at those regulations. Let's do all we can to lower premiums for the American people. That's what we've always focused on. In particular, we've talked about some of the essential coverages that were mandated at every plan offer, and we've talked about this thing called community rating that we think is real important to get rid of that regulation if you're ever going to bring down the cost and bring back affordable insurance for middle-class families.
As you know, your colleague, Congressman Ted Poe, quit the Freedom Caucus last week because he felt that you guys were just too entrenched and too intransigent about finding any compromise in terms of health care. Is the Freedom Caucus fracturing?
No, I don't think so. I mean, look, every member is entitled to their opinion, their voting card, and Ted's a good friend. I serve on the Judiciary Committee with him. If he wants to do something different now and not be a part of the group, that's fine with him. We've always had that. We've had people come and go over the couple of years that we've been in existence. That's just part of the legislative process, in my judgment. But what I do know is what we told the American people. What I do know is the legislation that was brought forward was not a full repeal of Obamacare, was not going to lower premiums, and didn't unite the country, didn't unite our party, and frankly, only had the support of 17% of the country. So let's change that. Let's put together the kind of bill that I think that the American people expect us to put together, that they sent us here to accomplish. Let's focus on that, and that's what we're doing. Quit blaming everyone, quit saying, let's just get back to work, do the responsible thing, and put together a piece of legislation that we can all be proud of.
Well, Congressman Ted Poe didn't get the impression that you all in the Freedom Caucus are interested in uniting with your colleagues. In fact, he felt that you all are just an impediment. I mean, that you're the caucus of no. Let me play for you what Congressman Poe told us.
I got the opinion that there's some members of the Freedom Caucus, they'd vote no against the 10 Commandments if it came up for a vote. It is so easy to sit back, cross your arms, and say, no, I'm not going to support that. And then what do we have? We have a situation where we are not making positive changes in the country.
What's your response?
Well, Alisyn, there's a little bit of difference between the 10 Commandments and a piece of legislation that only 17% of the country approves of. So I would just say, look at the four corners of the document. Look at the legislation itself. What did it do? What didn't it do? It didn't repeal Obamacare fully. It didn't lower premiums. It wasn't supported by the Republican Party. Every major conservative organization in the country opposed it, and only 17% of the country liked it. So there is, frankly, a big difference between the 10 Commandments and a piece of legislation that only 17% of the country approves of. Let's fix that legislation. Let's do what the president said. Let's get a deal put together, but one that accomplishes what we were sent here to accomplish. That's always been our focus. That continues to be our focus, and we're going to be hard at work making sure we accomplish that.
And you feel confident that moderate Republicans and maybe even some Democrats are going to like your new proposal?
I think we had a good conference yesterday with the entire Republican members of the House there, talking about ways forward, ways to move forward and accomplish what we all campaigned on, what we were elected on in 2010, 2014, and 2016. So look, I'm an American. You got to be an optimist. So I'm always an optimist. I think we can get to the right kind of agreement that accomplishes what